Hey guys, so I'm gonna do a reading for the Divine Feminine, but my phone's at 24%, so I can't really talk that long about this. But I just want to share something with you. Basically, so um, I've been feeling more energized. Like since we've been going back to the pool, I've been getting my energy back, and I had mentioned before about how like usually I get channel messages, but I'm with the kids, so it's like I'll try to get them on activity and then I'll share a message, but they're interrupting, so I'm getting frustrated all the time. So because I'm like in the channel and then it takes me out of what I was saying and then I have to like kind of start over and get back into it, like constantly go back into my train of thought. Whereas I just want to get the message out and then move on and focus on them again. But anyway, so right now, the kids went to bed because they're exhausted because we've been swimming every day. And I have actually energy. Usually I'm exhausted at this point, and I was looking for something to watch, but I felt like I have all this energy and it's flowing through me. Why not record a channel message or a Torah reading when I'm not going to be interrupted, right? If I have the energy to do it, then do it. And that's all about taking aligned action, right? Like I could have just said, oh, whatever, it's late, just watch a show. But if I have energy through me, and this is what I love doing, then why not just do it, right? Do the thing that makes you happy, do the thing that fuels you instead of just like I'm watching videos that are learning, tarot stuff, um, people that are truth seekers. Like I'm watching all this stuff that's learning, but at the same time, I know that like when the kids are eating and stuff, for example, I can watch those things for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, however long they finish eating. But to record a message while they're eating, that's a little bit harder because either they need something. Sometimes I'll actually do it where I'll record a message while they're eating, but usually that's when I'm eating too. So it's like so yeah, so right now I'm taking the opportunity to record a message because they're sleeping, so at least I can feel peace and calmness and not get overwhelmed because I'm being interrupted, right? So it's like taking that moment when you have that moment to do it. So it's like I felt the energy. I was like, okay, let me just do it and get it done and share a message with the collective. Whereas when it's a channel message coming in where it's just my thoughts and the divine giving me messages on something that I've learned or something about what I think the truth is, that's a little bit harder because you got to do it in the moment. Like, yeah, you can write it out, but I find that when you write it out, it's not the same as what's coming in at that moment, right? It's like a dream. You wake up and you write down that dream, but you don't feel that same experience of what you had when you were in that dream, right? Or when you first wake up and that like, oh, like, what, is this real or is this not? And then another thing I just want to say before I start this reading, I already pulled 5 cards and they're amazing cards, so I want to get into it. My battery keeps going down at like a rapid speed. But the Naked Moon, follow her. She's amazing. She's so insightful, wise. She's like my age, and I love her. I love her content. And she was giving an example of, and I was talking about this the other day about intuition and how do we know what our intuition is and the feeling and whatever. I will be sharing the video by the time you see this video, but it's something that I recorded I think yesterday. And she was saying that how basically there's this documentary that she watched called Daniel, and it was this young guy, and he had taken a stone from a place, from this Mayan cave or something like that, and the the person, his tour guide who was taking him through the cave, told him like, don't take this stone. Um, don't take anything from this cave because if you take it, then people have suffered the consequences of bad things befalling them. So he saw a stone and he asked the tour guide, "Hey, can I take this?" And the tour guide's like, "No, like I already warned you, like don't take it." But um, he ended up getting like cancer, like leukemia, I guess a few years later or something like that. And he had confessed to his mom that like, hey, like listen, the tour guide told me not to take the stone, but I actually took the stone. So his mom was like looking everywhere for that stone, and he ended up passing away. But and then she found the stone in his suitcase after he passed away. But what he told his mom was that he's like, I felt that my intuition was telling me to take that stone. So it's like that's why it's like so intense when it comes to our intuition, because we also trust our intuition and trust that gut feeling, but sometimes it's the magnetic pull, right? Like for example, that magnetic pull of when you are not in communication with someone and then you feel that magnetic pull to call them. Is that your intuition telling you to call them, or is that you just giving in to the magnetic pull because they were thinking of you or whatever, right? So it's like one of those things that it's so hard to decipher what is our intuition and what is us giving into the magnetic pull. And in situations that's not like that situation, like we sometimes we have to put our hand in the fire and burn it a million times before we learn the lesson that of self-worth and not giving your attention to someone who's not giving you any attention back, right? So it's one of those things that it's really hard to decipher what's the magnetic pull and what's our intuition, and that's why we have to constantly ask ourselves questions and dive deeper to really know what is our intuition leading us with. Because they say your intuition is that gut feeling that you have in that moment, but that gut feeling that you have in that moment could be the magnetic pull as well. So again, we say these things, but they could also be other things, and that's why we have to spend time in contemplation and really understand, do I feel that this is the right thing for me or not, you know? So this is a silly example, but like, for example, with me, right? I've been like eating less and less, like not feeling hungry. I just haven't been feeling hungry, and when we're at the pool with the pool all day, we'll pack some sandwiches, we'll eat some sandwiches, we'll eat some other snacks, fruits, vegetables, whatever. I'll pack some things that we can eat at the pool. And then we come home for dinner, and then we'll have our heavier meal at dinner, right? We'll have a good breakfast, lunch, we'll eat light, and then we'll have a heavier meal at dinner. But so I haven't been really eating a lot. Like I've been having salads for lunch or something, like just light things. But today, whenever I make curry, I give into the this is a perfect example about your intuition versus the magnetic pull, right? Whenever I eat curry, I love the taste of it, right? So I know that my stomach is like smaller now, right? Because I'm not eating a lot. So there's only so much that I can put into my stomach, and I'm full, I'm satisfied. So what happened was that I ate curry for dinner, and then because we're going to bed a little bit later now that it's summertime, and usually we'd be bed at 9 o'clock, but now we're in bed by like 11, the earliest. And they say it's not good to eat after 8 o'clock, so that's why usually I have dinner around 6, 7, and then I'm done for the night, right? Maybe I'll have a little snack, something like a cookie or a chip or something, which is not the best, but like maybe I'll have something like that, and I'll whatever, that'll be my thing. But what I did was that because I made the curry, and I know that I can't overeat curries because it starts burning my stomach and my heart, giving me heartburn. What I did, I had it, and I felt so satisfied and so full off of that bowl. And then a couple hours later, my son ate it too. The kids ate dinner, and a couple hours later, my son said, "Hey, like I want another bowl of curry. Can I have another bowl?" And he's a growing boy. If he's hungry, he's hungry. I was asking him if he wanted fruit or crackers or something else, but he's like, "No, I want the curry." So I was like, "Okay, cool. You want the curry? Then have another bowl of curry." And because he was having it, I was like, I gave into the magnetic pull. I'm like, like it looks so good. Like I want another bowl. And I had another bowl. I didn't have a lot, but I still had another one. But I put a lot of sauce on it, and now I feel like I'm suffering now. My stomach is hurting and I'm getting heartburn. So me giving into that magnetic pull, I am suffering the consequences on a like small scale, right? But it's like that's the thing, is like my intuition knew that it wasn't good for me not to have another bowl because I've already experienced the consequences of it before. But I gave into that magnetic pull of being like, it's so delicious, let me just have it, right? Like we do this in so many things: alcohol, cookies, chips, people. We keep giving into the magnetic pull when we know that it's not healthy for us. We know that we already know how it ends, and yet we still try to do it again when we already know how it's going to feel, how we're going to feel after putting our hand in the fire a million times, when we know what the outcome is. The outcome is not going to change.